All right, folks. So here we go with it. We're going to start off with our sexy form that we had before. And the only thing that we're going to change is one line of code in the form tag. And in the form tag, there's an attribute called action. Action. Come on. No? Nobody? Okay. That's right. What we're going to write in here is the name of the PHP file that we want to send the contact form to. And then that PHP file is going to send the email to us and process everything. So we're going to type into here scripts /sendmail.php. Or PHP, as the kids like to say. And what this will do is once the form is submitted, everywhere where you see name equals to something, in PHP, for those of you who know a little programming, that becomes a variable. So whatever value you submit magically becomes a variable on the other side once we get into that sendmail.php form. We're also going to change method to post. All right, so now we could go ahead and we're going to create a scripts folder and then create a sendmail.php file. So let's go back to our folder structure here. And inside of our labs, if we create a new folder called scripts, and we can't right-click and create a new file from within there on a PC, called scripts. And then we're going to come back into Notepad++, and we're going to create a new file here and save that as sendmail.php into our scripts folder. So I opened up a new file now, and I'm going to save it as sendmail.php into my scripts folder. So do file save as. I'm going to go into my scripts folder and save it as sendmail.php. Now, just like images or links, if either in your action form or in your action attribute, you sendmail.php. You don't put scripts /sendmail.php, or in your sendmail.php, you don't save that into the scripts folder as sendmail.php, then it won't work. So now that we have it saved, let's just double check in our folder that we do, and it should still be there inside of our scripts folder. And yes, you now have a sendmail.php file. All right. Let's look then at how we're going to do this. In PHP, if you want to write PHP in a page, you have to put this opening tag and this closing tag. Technically speaking, you might also have to write the word PHP there, but on these servers we have installed their shortcut so you don't actually have to do that. And we haven't done any PHP in this class, and we're not really going to get into it at a deep level, sort of like we didn't get into it deep with JavaScript. So we're just going to go ahead and start writing some PHP, and I'm just going to write a message that says something like sending your mail, and I'll wrap it in a paragraph tag. And then that print should print it out to the screen. So if you just say print and then in quotation marks say sending your mail, that should work to go ahead and print that out onto the screen. I'm going to upload it to the server. You cannot run any PHP on our computers because our computers don't understand PHP. They don't speak the language. So we have to upload it to the server in order to see it working. So examples.welovedweb. Nope. So now remember, when you upload your file, you want to upload the scripts folder and the new contact form file. So copy over your scripts folder and your new, mine is called sexy form, your new form, because it has an updated line that says go to the send mail file, and that send mail file is inside of the scripts folder. Going to overwrite that. And then I'm going to navigate to that on the web by just typing /scripts to my contact form. And I should, when I click on my PHP file, see it print out the words sending your mail. And I'll pause for a moment here to let you guys get caught up. Once we have our website able to print out that script, we know that that page is up there and working. So the next thing we're going to do is start gathering the information from the form that we submitted and making sure that it shows up on this page. So the way to do that in PHP, when we are printing out an email, when we're getting a value from a form, the first thing we have to do is name the value, the variable that we want. And again, for those of you who haven't done programming, this may be completely different stuff, but just sort of type and follow along and you'll be fine. Name is going to be equal to, then PHP has this really weird format of getting information from forms. And it looks like this. So $name is how PHP creates variables, int or string. If you've been in Java, JavaScript has no marker before the variable name. And then this $_post, when we created our form tag and we said action equal to sendmail.php and method equal to post, this is how we get the information that's posted. And then all we have to do is put in the name of that field that we're looking for. So we have name. I'm going to copy this and paste it over 3 times because I know that I'm asking for an email. And a message. I'm also going to create my own variable, which is the email that I want this sent to test it out. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to say to and then put in your email so that you can get the message from your website. And to test this out, let's go ahead and print out the following. Oh, let me turn off wrap for you there. That's no good. Hold on. There we go. And notice that when I want to say the actual name of the person as they entered it, I just put the $ before, and then it should get the value of the name that they filled out on their form right in their own message. And if that works, what that tells us is that the PHP form is sending and the data has been shared, and I can go ahead and get ready to send the email. Your email, oops, is almost sent. So I'm going to go ahead and put this online now. And since I haven't changed the form itself, all I really need to update is my scripts. So I'm just going to drag sendmail.php over. Now, this time, if we try to look at the page directly, notice that it says thanks and then blank. It doesn't see that the name is there, and the reason is because we went to this page directly, not from our contact page. So no message has been sent to it. So I have to go back to my sexy form. And now when I say name, and I submit it, it doesn't work just the way I like it to. Let me check the source code real quick, make sure that that action thing is filled out. It is, and method says post. So let's try that again. There we go. Sending your email. Thanks, Zach. Your email is almost sent. And then we can go back, and the next line should be getting ready to actually send it. All right. I'll include this link in the notes when you guys want to go back and watch the video. But if you go to, and you just Google PHP mail, we want to come to this site that just says PHP mail, not PHP mail manual. That might melt your face off. Just go to the PHP mail on the W3 schools. And let's look at this PHP function for a moment and how it works. So if we type the word mail and then put in parentheses a whole bunch of information, PHP will automatically, as a language, send an email. This is very cool and not built into most languages, but a very nice feature in PHP. And we're going to use it now to send an email. And notice that we have the person we want to send it to. We have the subject of the email, what appears in that one line before you click on the email in your inbox. And we haven't set that as a variable yet, so we'll have to do that. We get the message, and then something called headers and parameters. Parameters we're going to skip. And headers, if you look down in this table, it says it's optional. And it's things like from, CC, and BCC. Has anybody ever sent an email with a CC or BCC on it? You guys know what that stands for? It stands for Cotter's Cool and no. It stands for carbon copy and blind carbon copy. And if you ever send an email and you want to send it to somebody else, you could copy them on it. And if you want to send it to somebody but nobody else knows that you sent it to that other person, then you do blind copy. We're just going to use the from form for that. So let's scroll down again and let's look at the format here. And notice that we actually have most of this. We have a to. We don't have a subject, so we have to go back and add subject. Message, that's going to come from the form. From, that's going to come from the form. And then they have this new message called headers, which just formats the from element. Let's go back and first update our form to have a subject. So under 2, let's put subject. And you got to think about here, when you get an email from your website, what do you want it to say to yourself so that you know to open it, like message from website? But also when you reply back to the person who sent it, what do you want it to say when you reply back? So it'll say reply and then whatever in the subject line. So if you say, I'm the coolest person in the world because my PHP form works, booyah, as your subject line, when you reply back to a potential client, it's going to have that in the subject. So if you say something like request for web services or contact and then your name, something like that, that would be helpful and a good idea. So we're going to say contact from no, you know what? Let's not. Request for work. If they're filling out our contact form, they definitely want to pay us a lot of money. I mean, that's the only thought I have as to why somebody would fill that form out. So what we'll do is we'll just say to ourselves, oh, request for work. And then when they reply back, we're like psychologically getting in their head that they already want to pay us for work because it's in the subject line to the email that they sent, but they didn't know that they sent it with that subject line. What? Okay. The next thing we're going to get is the header information, and that we can copy straight from this website. So if you go back to where it says headers equal to from space dot from, let's just copy that code and paste it right in below our subject. Yep, right there. Oh, sorry, back on the website, in their example, which is below this table that they have, there's a line that says headers equal to from. The only thing that we have to change is instead of being from, we have to change this variable here to say email. So because we had it called email up here and not from, we have to change this to say email. But the word from will still stay from. So headers equal to from email. All right, now that we have that, we could get our mail function ready to go. And if we come back here, we're just going to copy that too. And underneath where we said your email is almost ready, we're going to paste in the mail function. And it says mail to, and we're going to double check that we have that variable to right up here that's sending to me. And then we have subject here, and that's request for work. And our message is the form, the field that they filled out. And the headers, well, that's this email here. Now, the only thing is we don't have their name anywhere in this, which is a problem. And let me go back and look at the example and see how they solved that. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get a little sneaky here. Where it says request for work, we're going to say request for work from, and then put their name. And that's just because that's sort of, we don't have an option here to easily say from the email. I know that it's possible to get that included there, but we're just going to, for the shorts, do it this way. So request for work from name. And then this mail function will run, and then we're going to print out a message that says, thanks. And then finally it says your email is sent. I'm going to get back in touch with you. Sorry, let me give you some more spaces down there so you can see that. And then we don't need to put out their email address, but we're just being fancy and showing them what we could do. And if I go back and I upload this again, notice that now if I try to refresh my page, my sendmail.php page without going back to the contact form, it's asking me, hey, we have information stored for this PHP script. Do you want us to just resend it so you could use the same information again, or do you not want to resend that? With our contact form, if we just keep refreshing this page and hit resend, it will just keep on sending emails over and over and over again. Once you hit 500 emails, your account will be flagged for spam and it will be terminated. So we don't really want to be here all day testing around. But if we resend this now, then it should send the email for us and we shouldn't have to fill out the form again, which is convenient for what we're doing. Not something you want to do on an e-commerce site when you know it's like, pay me, pay me, pay me. Buy this again, buy this again. So let's resend it. And now I got this other email, this other line that says, email sent, I will contact you shortly at DeBrookybrook. Now all I have to do is pause real quick and go check my email to make sure that it works. And while I do that, I will leave you with the code again here and go check and pull up that email. All right, so just to show you here, if I go into my email, I now have an email that says request for work from Zach with that name up here. And if I reply back, it will automatically reply to the email that they sent me with the subject line of reply request for work from Zach. So that's really nice. That's all there for you. And I just realized one other thing that I Googled real quick, which is where it says from space and then colon, you could say from name space, and then you could just put the email after it just like that, and then that should, I'm going to try it, it should have their name in the from mail. So I'll give that a test, and you guys could keep on working on uploading there and get that email sent. So just kidding about how to send their name and their email. If you want to do them both, it's in this format here. And you may have seen emails with brackets around it before. And their name in front of it. This is the format in PHP that we need to write if we want to have their name and their email show up in the email there automatically. If we look at the web page, the email that it sends, notice that I filled this out to say new client, client@business.com. Hey, we'd love to work with you. Please get in touch. And then it sends, and if I hit reply,
It's frozen.
if I hit reply with a non-frozen screen, notice that it says new client. It's from new client to me. It says new client and then their information. And then if I look at the subject line, it says request for work from new client. So that they see their name and they see that they want to give us money. Oh, we love the psychology behind that one. So leave you back up here with the code, and you guys should be getting your email sent. Oh, we will have to come back and do one more thing, which is we don't want this to be filled out if their email is not, or if their form is not complete. Yes. And you know what? We're going to have to do that before the end of the period, because if we just leave these forms up there, they're going to get so much spam, it's going to be ridiculous. So we got to put in one last line here. Everybody come down to your mail function here. And right above it, we're going to say if email is not equal to 2 quotation marks, which should make it mean that it's no empty space here. So one quotation mark, no space, another quotation mark. You tab in the mail, then put a closing curly brace. And what this will do is this will only send their email, their mail, if this has not, if their email has been filled out. So if they try to click the form without putting in their email, then it won't send it. We'll have to come back tomorrow and make this a little bit more secure, but please make sure that you get at least this code right here up and in your forms if they're online, because otherwise it's going to be quite spammy out there.